Hey guys, enter the stars. And as we get to know each other, I like to share little pieces and tidbits of my life with you. Many of you have asked me about fishing, and I am a firm believer that not only was Christ a fisher of men, but he was also a real fisherman. He demonstrated that in several Bible stories. And there's something about the water. There is something about the water. Baptism, and as we enter the age of Aquarius, I believe that he will be returning very soon. So I wanted to share with some of these pictures with you of some of the fishing expeditions I've been on throughout Central California. Now what you're looking at here is a sea trout, a beautiful red rockfish caught right out of the ocean. Here's some cabezones, again beautiful rockfish right off of the shore. Now a lot of the fishing that we do is extreme fishing, extreme destination fishing I call it. And we'll throw these long sea poles off of 150, 200 foot cliffs and bring up these beautiful fish, which we then harvest for food. You can freeze these fish for up to 3 months and they're still really good to eat. Fish tacos, you name it. Fish enchiladas, whatever you want to do with these fish. Now part of this journey of hunting these fish is our God-given right. Here are some surf perch in this bucket here. Again, right off of these cliffs. Some of these are caught in lakes. These are some trout that we caught in freshwater lakes. Oftentimes I'll go alone, but other times I'll go with my friend. And so you'll see some pictures of my friend in here as well. Here's some trout we caught at Kachuma Lake. They stocked that lake with trout pretty consistently over the last several years. Here's a upper mountain lake in the Sierra Nevadas, a small one. This is right off of the cliffs in Shell Beach, California. A great fishing spot near the stairs there. You see the horizon in the background, and there is the cliff, and that's about 150 feet down to the water. There's kelp out there. You can take small kayaks and boats, and all of it is loaded with rockfish. Now, the Bible says, let no man judge you for what you eat or drink. And we are covered under the law, and I eat all kinds of fish that come out of the ocean and the sea, as well as the lakes and rivers. Here's an assortment from the ocean. There was a lingcod in there. These are red rockfish. Again, amazing, beautiful fish. This is a freshwater catch. Some perch, red ear they call them. Here's me standing in an illegal area at the Kachuma Dam. Hiked about 4 miles to get to this spot. Luckily I didn't get discovered, otherwise I would have been kicked off because there's buoys that go out pretty far. You can kind of see them off in the right in the distance there. There they are. And I was well past the buoys. And they say it's because of safety and terrorism reasons that we can't get too close to the actual dam. It's a great shot at Kachuma Lake. The lake is actually a lot more dry now. It's down to 10%. Here's a smallmouth bass. I believe this was at Lake Lopez. This is the biggest fish I ever caught. It's about a 25-pound catfish out of the aqueduct, the California aqueduct. More rockfish here. And there's something about the water. I love being close to it. There's something about hunting and catching, and it just brings me peace and joy and happiness. Gives me energy to continue on with the work that we have here. There's a crab I caught inadvertently that the warden said because I caught him on a hook, I had to throw him back. You can only net crabs in California, you can't hook them. Another smallmouth, I believe that is. Beautiful fish. Put here, given to us, dominion over the earth, to manage and to eat. Amazing. This is Lopez Lake. Again, we were on a boat, I believe, in this instance. I have an inflatable boat that I'll sometimes take out when my engine runs. There it is there. And you can get to different parts of the lake, and we usually will just post up anchor up and fish off of different shore points. Another smallmouth bass from that hole. Love to fish. Another smallmouth, that's a pretty big one, a couple pounds. Rockfish from the ocean. Surf perch, I think that's called a rubber lip on the right. Those are rubber lips. And then rock cod. Here's some pretty big surf. Came out to fish. This doesn't make for very good fishing conditions when it's pounding like that, because what it'll do is it'll hang you up on the bottom. You just go through sinkers after sinkers. More rockfish. Here's some big smallmouth bass here out of Lake Lopez. That's the second biggest fish I ever caught, was a carp. They're overtaking Kachuma Lake, and they're eating all of the eggs, and so all of the other fish except for the bass have basically disappeared. The red ear, the bluegill, they're like gone. So they allow you to bow hunt those carp, but I don't like to kill animals indiscriminately, because God said at the covenant with Noah that there would be an accounting of all blood spilt. Here's coming into Morro Bay. This is the rock, the giant megalithic arrowhead. That's part of the Seven Sisters. And they're basically these large volcanic mountains, and there's 7 of them, and they go all the way back to San Luis Obispo as you drive along the highway. Went on a deep sea fishing trip with John. There's my friend Baron. John charges about $50 a piece, and we get to go out on a boat with him, just all by ourselves. And it's a blast if you can get past the seasickness. Here's my friend Baron fishing up at the Columbia River with his brother, catching these, I believe that's a king salmon. It's a San Simeon. There's Hearst Castle up on the hill. There's a schoolhouse. And they sell meat here at San Simeon. There's Baron with the giant surf perch up at Big Sur. You drive another 15-20 miles, there's great camping right off the bluffs. Here's a bluff we found outside of the marine protected area, of course, because there are large swaths of marine protected areas along the Big Sur coast. And this is me standing on a cliff doing kind of a panoramic. Caught a couple fish out of the spot. I actually hooked a 25-pound fish. It was either a lingcod or a cabezon, and I could not get him up the cliff. And he severed the line on some sharp rocks and got away. Lived to see another day. Here was the catch from that day, right off the cliff there. Now, one of the rights that I will fight for is the right, my God-given right, to harvest the earth, especially as a shore fisherman that makes very little impact on these fisheries. And this is very important to me and something that I stand for. With all the laws and restrictions that are going on, people like myself are starting to become extinct. And they're training our children not to have the desire to fish. This is Santa Barbara, right on the pier. Beautiful sunrise. And here's a deer in my backyard. And this is how I choose to live my life. As close to nature as possible. This is called Dinosaur Caves. And look at the surf down there. Isn't that beautiful? Dinosaur Caves, Shell Beach, California. Anyway, you guys, I thought I would share this with you. There's a large trout there. Much love. Take care and be safe.